Welcome into a Monday edition of the Ravens Rundown, powered by Chat Sports. Tyler Jones here with you. Appreciate you joining us. On today's show, we'll go over the latest Baltimore Ravens news and rumors. But before we do that, I got a question for you. So I heard from a good friend of mine that I need to try a particular beer in Baltimore called Natty Bo. And this thing apparently is so good. So tell me this, if you're a fan of Natty Bo, like the video if you like it. If not, tell me what your favorite beer or drink is. I'm very curious to know one way or the other if this lives up to the hype. You know, I need to get out there to Baltimore and try this for myself and see. Maybe we'll do a taste test of some sorts here on the Rundown sometime. But let me know if you're a fan of Natty Bo. Like the video if yes. If not, tell me what your favorite beer or drink is. He's back. Lamar Jackson. He missed Ravens' voluntary OTAs, but has reported back to the facility for mandatory minicamp today. His teammates, very ecstatic to have him back, as you can imagine. Very good news to see Lamar Jackson has made his return to the Baltimore Ravens. So this will not be a holdout that he is there, he is good to go at this point. He didn't really miss a whole lot when it was all said and done, and it was voluntary. So, not a big deal of the time that he missed away. So, here's the thing. I like that Lamar's here. His heart is clearly in the right place, that he wants to win, that although that he's got a contract situation that he's trying to figure out and would like to get paid and get that whole situation worked together, at the end of the day, Lamar's mind is in the right place of wanting to go out there and win. And, we know that Greg Roman is going to change up this offense a little bit. That's the reports that we've heard. It's a young receiving core. So all the stuff that Lamar will need to do with this group of getting these guys to adapt and to learn to play with Lamar Jackson, it will all happen. Everything is going to be okay. So I feel good about Lamar Jackson at this point, that he's arrived, that he's putting the contract negotiations to the side. How do you guys feel? How much trust do you have in Lamar Jackson right now? Let's scale it, 1 to 100. Put a number on it of what your level of confidence is right now. 1 to 100, pick a number out there. You're going to even get some decimal points in. I don't care. Let me know in the comment section. 1 through 100. This is our pinned comment today. So you're about to get an ad break. Well, the ads play, take advantage of it, and let me know one way or the other how much confidence you have in Lamar Jackson right now. I don't have trust issues with Lamar. I really don't. I think that Lamar is a hell of a leader in this league, that he's going to do everything right. And I can't blame him for wanting to get this contract situation figured out, for wanting to get paid, for maybe letting his grievances known just a little bit by not being there for OTAs. But I got to tell you, everything's going to be fine. The fact that he's there, there's plenty of time to work with this group. It's going to be easy peasy. I'm happy for Lamar. It's going to be fine. No need to worry at this point. Now, one option for the Ravens, we mentioned the receiving core, and I've told you for quite some time that I don't think that the Ravens receiving core is going to stay as is. One option could be trading for Terry McLaurin. The Commanders' wide receiver is skipping minicamp and is in a contract dispute with the Commanders. Could we see the Ravens swoop in, potentially trade for Scary Terry? A guy that is not too far down the road, and his numbers have been pretty impressive through the last 3 seasons. You can see the numbers the last 3 years were really good, with over 1,000 yards the last 2 seasons. Then back in 2019, had 7 touchdown grabs. And the quarterback play in Washington has not been very good at all the last several years. So if you could get him playing with Lamar, be the number 1 receiver clearly, watch out. I would like this idea. I just don't know about the draft capital of how much is too much to trade for Terry McLaurin when it's all said and done personally. So that's the question I wonder. I like Terry McLaurin, but how much is it going to cost you to trade for Terry McLaurin, especially with the way we've seen this wide receiver market go? More Ravens Rundown in a moment, but before we do, I want to make sure that you are subscribed to the channel. We are trying to get 7,000 subscribers. As a company, we just reached over 1 million subscribers across all channels. So thank you for being a part of that, as well as 300,000 subscribers on our main Chat Sports channel. But we're trying to continue to grow this channel so we can bring you more Ravens content each and every day. So go ahead and subscribe now. Help us get to that 7,000 mark. YouTube.com/RavensTV. That's YouTube.com/RavensTV. Another wide receiver option for the Seahawks potentially could be DK Metcalf. And Bleacher Report suggested the Ravens could try and trade for DK. This is amid a contract dispute that's going on with Metcalf in Seattle. He was not at minicamp for the Seahawks, and some people may say, well, he's dealing with an injury, recovery. Well, his absence wasn't excused. He didn't make his recovery in Seattle. He was away from the team in L.A. The last 3 seasons for Metcalf, much like what we talked about with Scary Terry, pretty good for DK, as you can see. Last year, 12 touchdowns. That was a career high. The year prior, a career high with 1,300 receiving yards. In his rookie year, he was terrific with 900 yards and 7 touchdowns. A big play receiver, DK Metcalf. His size is not comparable to anybody else in the National Football League. I like both receivers. I would guess that when it comes to the trade market, DK's probably going to cost you more than Terry McLaurin would. But we'll see. We'll see if they can find a way to bring in somebody. Maybe Deebo Samuel potentially as well. If you had to pick between these two, though, DK or Terry, who would you choose? Let me know in the comment section. Type DK for DK Metcalf. Type TM for Terry McLaurin. Let me know in the comments one way or the other. DK or TM, who you would trade for. Last one on the show today. Marcus Peters, the Ravens starting cornerback, has been discussed as a potential trade option for the Ravens, according to Bleacher Report. If they do move on from Peters, it could save the team $10 million in cap space. Peters turns 30 next offseason and will be a free agent. He's also coming off a torn ACL last year. Did not play in 2021. We've seen Marcus Peters play at a Pro Bowl level. He was really good dating back to his rookie year in Kansas City and what he's been able to do throughout his career. I really like Marcus Peters as a player. But you look at this depth chart. You brought in Kyle Fuller. We already know that they are loaded at the safety spots with what they did with Kyle Hamilton and Williams and company. That group is good. So is it time to move on from Marcus Peters? If you can get draft capital for Marcus Peters, like, let's say, a third-round pick, which is what seems to be floating out there, would you do it? I'd be tempted to. I would. A third-round pick and save $10 million, I'd be tempted to do that. But for me, it all comes down to what the progress is with Marcus Peters. How good is he off that injury? And I don't know right now how good Marcus Peters is off that injury at the moment. Let me know in the comments section if you would trade Marcus Peters for a third-round pick. Type Y for yes, type in for no if you would make this move. Ravens Rundown each and every day here on the channel. Subscribe now so you never miss a moment of all the latest Ravens news and rumors, whether it's in free agency, trades, counting you down to kickoff. We have it all covered right here on the channel. As always, give me a follow on Twitter as well, at Tyler Jones Live. I'm talking about the Ravens and all across the National Football League each and every day, and I love interacting with all of our viewers of the Ravens Rundown. You guys are the absolute best. It is a pleasure bringing you this show. Just because the show ends doesn't mean that we don't keep on going. The conversation never stops on Twitter, also on Instagram and Facebook at Tyler Jones Live. Give me a follow there, and I'll see you next time here on Ravens Rundown.